And of course, there were some people that are like, what the heck is this?
My name is Daniel Alborn. I'm from Gainesville, Florida, and I'm here to build a car.
I'm down for full effect, yes. Ooh, they hum. Oh yeah, it's working, that's cool. Will the girl from Paramore approve?
We'll see.
What's up, people? Welcome back to Genius Garage for the Fast and Furious old stunt car, the Lykan Hypersport build. It's pretty exciting. I'm sorry we missed last week, but we were insanely busy coming back from Road America with the big nasty yellow Corvette. But I thought we'd dive in there, get to know one of the guys, as well as seeing what's going on. But come check it out. One thing I'm really excited about right now, you guys can start to see from there, it's got eyeballs, which means Ryan is working on the headlights. That's a big deal. It's a lot of tedious work, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to come right back to him in a second. But it was really exciting. We were at Road America. For all you fans that came out and saw it, it was really neat to meet you, see you there. I hope you enjoyed that. I think people were excited to see the project. It was a work in progress, because generally speaking, people don't like to show you the work in progress because it's not done. It doesn't look as good as it will when it's finished. And of course, there were some people that are like, what the heck is this? Because they didn't know yet. But then when they found out, it was super cool. And there's actually some people that are like, you totally have to leave it kind of beat up. It's cool because it's the whole history of being the stunt car and the movie and all, which is fun. But if you want to come in here, we'll look more carefully at it. I'm just so proud of what the guys have done. There's been a bunch of things that are kind of a difficult or pain in the butt, but you can start to see how the Porsche interior fits. Like, even if we didn't redo the dash and the seats and stuff, like, it looks good. The proportions work. And that's why we originally utilized the Porsche platform, because as we know, the front of the Porsche platform and front of the suspension is identical to what was utilized in the Lykan. Of course, W Motors took their original Lykan Hypersports to the moon in terms of development and everything. And we're taking this a little bit of a different direction, trying to make it very lightweight, very exciting, utilizing the Porsche platform and go in that direction. But right now, the devil is in the details. For instance, we're doing some CAD design, but in this case, cardboard aided design here for the nature of the wheel wells. And if you want to come in here and look carefully, you can see the wheel well. Obviously, we got this awesome coilovers from Coilover Depot. That was hugely helpful. And we've got the Soul Performance exhaust you can start to see. It's a little dirty right now from working it, but we've been utilizing this thin cardboard cardstock, which actually comes when you order sheet metal to protect it. But it's perfect for fabricating this up. We're going to be able to tie into some stock positions on the Porsche chassis, and it comes out perfectly, fills the wheel well. So that's the first step that you see that Tyler was working on before he went home for a holiday this weekend. If you come over here, you can kind of get it just to see and a feel for where things are going. Obviously, we're using just basic wood clamps here. Now on this side, if you want to come on over here by the formula car, you'll be able to see it. We got a new camera guy. In fact, he's hilarious. This is Aaron. He's working on the race car up front with the two cams. And today, for whatever reason, he thought it was hilarious to have masking tape eyebrows.
I don't.
Oh, ow, oh, ow, oh, oh.
I promise I'm normal.
Was that worth it? He's normal, you guys. Okay, anyway, that's Aaron. He's awesome. He's doing the camera today for the first time, so I think he's doing a really good job. Anyway, come and take a look here. This side is more closer to completion. Obviously, you see the awesome Porsche. These were the stock brake calipers and the drilled and slotted, well, actually, these are drilled and vented, not slotted rotors. From the factory, they're quite good. They'll be good for testing. But this one is using a very flexible polymer here of a good thickness. So this is going to be really great in terms of, there'll be some sound deadening. Obviously, the nature of how the air will flow through the intercoolers, you need to have this to block it off. But then the other thing that was really nice about this particular polymer, you can bend it and it's flexible and it wants to go back flat, but it'll hold the shape real well in relation to where the original wheel well was. But we were actually able to take this in a sheet metal brake and bend it like polycarbonate and get it to where it starts to yield, not flex back. And that's actually nice. That really is going to fit in well with the chassis. So that's where Tyler stopped, just on initially mocking this up. It's going really well. I thought you guys get a kick out of it. But right now, let's dive in with Ryan. You remember him from like hardcore doing all of the computer-aided design, specifically in 3D printing for the taillights. Now he's working on the headlights. So what's up, FNG?
Not much, just a lot of aluminum, which I was actually quite unfamiliar with before I was doing the headlight design. Originally, I thought about making 3D printed stuff as per usual.
Where's the stuff you had, the initial stuff you had?
The initial stuff, there's some up front.
Well, you go get that, hold on. So So Ryan was getting going with the 3D printed stuff, and depending on the plastic you use, some of it's not very heat resistant. And it takes quite a long time, and by nature of this build, we weren't the original designers of the car. That's W Motors, right? We have a platform, which is similar or the same as what they had, and we have the final shell, but we don't have any of the stuff that goes in between, so we have to make everything and do as best a job we can to kind of fill in the frog DNA from Jurassic Park. So Ryan was initially doing a lot of stuff with 3D printing, and it was taking a while, and it made me not work. So I was like, dude, you got to start fabricating some of this stuff out of sheet metal and blending what the techniques are you have to fabricate together. So let's see what you got on your 3D printed stuff. What'd you do?
Originally, I was thinking about making this aluminum bracket here out of 3D printed parts, but the light just gets too hot for even like PETG and stuff, so we scrapped that idea.
And this light here, this projector, and Aaron, if you want to go to the side, the front, you can see it better. That's actually what came from the original Porsche internals, this projector light, and it's a high intensity discharge, like it's got that high voltage box, right? And so it doesn't have like a high and low beam filament. What it does is it comes on totally, and there's a little solenoid in it that actually changes the angle of the reflection, and that's how they go high beam, low beam. Okay, cool. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. So where are you now, or where did you explore, and why did you end up here?
I originally started with designing a box that would go over the back of this and then would go into the fiberglass and seal, or up to this edge and seal with some like urethane that you use for like sealing windows and such. But we decided to go against it just because of the possibility of it melting even out of PETG, because these lights do get really warm.
That's also kind of big and clunky looking. Did it fit? Throw it on there.
This one didn't. I actually had to
you
change
can't
this
put that
bevel
on there right now because of where things are?
Yeah, and also the lights plugged in. If you want to turn them on, we can
You
do
were
that.
trying to make it all one solid unit.
Yes.
Which could have been cool, but what were the factors other than heat that made you go, yeah, this isn't the right direction?
The main thing was it would take a lot of this fiberglass out, and I did trim quite a bit of it, but we're able to use these pieces of aluminum to still seal up the housing quite well. But yeah, this would just require a lot of fiberglass to be trimmed out, and that's the most valuable part of the car is the fiberglass, because that's the body. It's why it's...
Yeah, all the composite, yeah. Well, and you need what's there for structure as well as creating your template for things. So, yeah, that's kind of the trick of it. So and that brings us to another thing. We've been using some really high strength bonding adhesive for like bodies and stuff. What do you got there? A fan sent us some SEM product stuff.
Yeah.
What's this? Multi-purpose panel adhesive. So this is like literally for bonding steel panels together, aluminum, fiberglass, like it is tenacious, ridiculous two-part stuff.
Oh yeah, this stuff's really good. I actually used it to bond this panel right here on this inside part, which is actually not part of this housing. It's completely separate, so you could remove the whole housing if you need to.
That's good. You got to be able to service things in the future.
Yep. But yeah, this stuff is like stupid rock hard strong.
That's awesome.
And it's
SEM. Well, and the gentleman wrote us something. I thought I'd just read something from, and it meant a lot. This person actually works at SEM, and he talked about his past and said he owes a lot of his success to his instructors in high school and WyoTech, and understands the importance of the younger generation to continue to learn these valuable hands-on skills and trades. And he writes he's a big fan of Genius Garage and the videos, and especially Formula Continental. He likes the Formula Continental over there. Yeah. And he's been wanting to race for a long time. And he just said that because of his success, he's now in the position where he can give back, and he sent a bunch of fantastic SEM products.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This was insanely helpful. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, you guys. It means a lot. I mean, it really is kind of like a big internet family, and thank you guys for helping support Genius Garage. And all the people who have donated, it means the world, because there's no magic money tree here. Just throwing that out there. So it's very helpful, thank you. Okay, so where are we at now? Where are you going?
Right now I'm just finishing up with this aluminum housing. Once this is done, this is going to provide most of the basic sealing of the housing, and then after that is going to be another big aluminum housing that seals everything over the top.
So you are in fact bonding aluminum when you prepare it to the composites of the stunt car body.
Yes.
To create your housing, that create the headlight housing in one piece, so that then you can have your projector light and whatever kind of reflectors and lenses be like attachable and removable.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you think your ETA is? How long is this going to take?
I don't know. Bending aluminum is something that is very new to me.
Yes.
And this side is coming along pretty well. The other side is being a pain for some reason, but that's just how it is.
Okay, so we potentially are going to test this at Mid-Ohio next week on Thursday. Where do you think you'll have the headlights by then? Or do you think we want to test it on track with the headlights out?
I would really want to get the headlights done for track. I know the taillights will definitely be on by then.
Okay, that's cool.
So.
All right. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna go talk to Dan on the doors and want to interview him. Actually.
Yeah.
You good? Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ryan. Oh, my feet. What?
We can kick the lights on and show them.
Oh shoot! Yeah, turn them on, dude.
Yeah. Go on, Dan. Hit the switch.
Here, let's go back here. Come on. Come here, Aaron.
You're over there.
Come down for full effect. Yes. Ooh. Ooh, they hum. Are they supposed to do that?
Yeah, that's pretty typical HID stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
They're not humming anymore because they're at such a high frequency, I presume.
Yep.
I can't hear it. Oh, that's cool. Can you hit the bright versus low beams?
Let's see if I can.
Here, come down here.
Yeah, actually,
Man, that's bright, you guys.
hold on. I don't think I plugged in the brights.
Yeah, the brights aren't plugged in right now.
Is that low beam or high beam? Oh, geez, I'm blind. I'm blind. So you turn on now?
We'll go for it. Yeah. Forgot to plug in the solenoids for the brights because I was working with the headlights.
Oh, you don't plug in the solenoids.
Yeah.
Oh, you got them now?
Yep, it's plugged in now.
Hit it.
Ready?
Yeah, flick it. Did it do anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do it again. Oh yeah, it's working. That's cool.
Yep.
Do it again. Oh, that is awesome. I'm blind now. All right, Dan, you want to look at your doors?
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about your life.
Yeah. Leave that be doing.
Okay, what?
Let's uncage the beast.
So the doors are notably one of the most difficult
Yeah.
challenges of fabrication and
I would
engineering of
say
this
so.
build.
There's like making latches work, making windows work. It's kind of a crazy thing because they do have to work and they have to be safe. So.
Right. Well, you and Tyler did a good job of making these steel structures and then
Right.
bonding that in
Right.
that ties it into where the latches are as well as the side impact bar
Yep.
to the hinges.
Exactly.
However, then getting latches to work, door hinges, and the window.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part?
Honestly, the window regulators are the hardest part because we have to shorten them. We have to change the angles of them. It's a lot.
Didn't you even have to change the curvature because of the nature of the glass?
Which is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have to make slices and change how they actuate.
Well, and that gets into a lot of kind of sophisticated hand fabrication for
Right,
you.
right.
Which is
Something that I
probably...
It was a learning experience and is a learning experience.
Yeah, that's not something you don't get in traditional
Right.
engineering majors.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's look at your latch. Do you have one of the 3D printed door handle things you made, or the push?
Yeah. I can pull the push handle out.
Oh, okay.
We have another one that we are waiting on right now that has the actual cable attachment
see
here.
this.
But yeah, so this is the.
That's the push. So
Yep.
it's going to pivot there, and you push
there,
it,
Push there, pulls on the cable here,
pops the door.
popping this arm down here to pop open our latch. And
Excellent.
the reason why we haven't used just this cable for that is we want internal and external door handles.
Oh yeah, you got to
for,
have
like
both.
locking capabilities and whatnot.
Right,
So,
right.
Yep.
Well, I can attest to the doors working and latching really well because it was driven around at Road America
Exactly.
and the
Yep.
pits and then to whatnot. I'm sorry for everybody about Road America. I accidentally deleted
Yeah.
a bunch of our footage. I am viciously angry at myself. Let's move on. I'll just have to get some more in the future. So there's that. And then obviously for a pivot point and whatnot, you're bonding in a thin metal structure
Exactly. Yep.
so you can have a fantastic mounting point for this,
Yep.
as well as a place to hang the cable housing for it to pull against.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, that's fantastic. And then so for the inner door panel, you're fabricating that out of aluminum.
Yep. It's a nice aluminum sheet.
I see it's got a bend in it, so it's nice and... Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is actually quite stiff. Like this will actually add a nice amount of stiffness to the door.
Right.
With that
Throw that
done.
on there. And I like how you integrated the bend here to give
Right.
that a tremendous amount of
Yep.
structure.
Yep.
It screws onto the flange,
Yep.
presumably.
We can screw or do rivets, but yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then obviously you'll be affixing the upholstering,
Exactly.
the armrests and
Yep.
latches and switches and
Everything
anything.
onto it, and it'll be nice and strong for that.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And we're testing them in Ohio on Thursday, so even if we don't get to the upholstery place, it's nice to have a pull.
Yep.
Do you think you'll have the inner door panels finished by then too, or
Yeah.
the inner door
I should. Yeah.
pulls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those will just be mounted onto here somewhere.
Okay, cool. And if you don't quite get to that point, instead of rushing it, we can always just pull a pull
Right. Exactly.
rope or something. Tell you what, let's interview you.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Which chair are you picking, Dan?
I'll take the red one.
Ooh, you like the fancy one.
Yeah.
I get the Inspector Gadget Dr. Claw chair. All right, you guys, this is Dan. Obviously, he's been here for a while doing a lot of awesome things, but I want to interview all the students and find out who they are so you guys can know about them because they're really talented. So, what's your full name and where are you from and why are you here?
My name is Daniel Alborn. I'm from Gainesville, Florida, and I'm here to build a car.
Yeah, you are. And this has come a heck of a long way since you got here.
Yeah.
It wasn't a car. It wasn't an anything.
It was a chassis and a bunch of duct tape when I got here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
duct tape, like on the body holding it together.
Oh yeah, it was
That's true. It really was nothing.
Yeah.
So Gainesville, Florida. Where do you go to school?
University of Florida.
What are you majoring in?
Mechanical engineering.
How far along are you?
I graduate next fall.
Okay, nice. Why on earth did you want to come to Ohio, to the middle of a cornfield, to build a stunt car into a hypercar?
Well, corn is among my favorite foods. Also, it's a hypercar. Super cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Was it kind of weird though?
A little bit. It was a long drive. I'm far from home. Strange people here, you know. It's
Yourself included.
yeah, apparently.
Okay, fair enough. Well, where do you want to go? Why'd you go into mechanical engineering?
Yeah. So I want to work in the automotive industry for a few years, and eventually I'd really like to get into restoration, like
Oh, really?
high dollar restoration. I think that's where my passion lies.
Interesting. What? Now that's an interesting transition from it's that direction
It
to
is,
there.
it is.
What? Let's say you go the direction of manufacturing, the automotive industry
Yeah,
as an engineer
yeah.
that way. What would that look like initially?
So I like fixing problems. I like fixing other people's problems. So,
Don't tell people
yeah.
that. Don't.
You're fine.
What's
But,
that?
So like quality control engineering and stuff like that. I'd be super interested in that initially.
I can't even right now when you said that. Right when you said that, I got the picture about the girl from Paramore in my head.
Right? Yeah. Not a bad picture to have in your mind, but yeah.
Especially if you're you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. Go on to what you want your job to look like in engineering.
Yeah. So like I like fixing issues in the manufacturing process and issues with products like that. That really gets me going.
Makes sense. What about like prototyping and R&D stuff?
Prototyping and R&D is fun. The stress is interesting
Okay.
to deal with. I think that when you're doing quality control, it's maybe not as stressful, but you still get that same rewarding feeling of getting
Oh, I
stuff
see.
done.
It's maybe a little bit more methodical.
Right.
Rather than the unknown and
Exactly.
time crunches
Yeah.
and everything doesn't go the way you want it to.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. It's probably good advice for young people to think about.
Right.
All right, so high dollar restorations, what does that mean and why do you like that?
So that wouldn't just be panel beating. That'd be like taking something that's in horrible shape and putting it back to like as new or better condition.
Okay. Would you have a type of car you especially like race cars, street cars, pre-war, exotic?
I like street cars.
I
So
gotcha.
I'd probably be doing street cars.
You know, these insane exotic cars and hypercars right now are
Yeah.
all going to fall apart and
Exactly.
glitch out in the
Oh,
next
yeah.
15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That could be a thing.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty neat. So, do you have anything you want to say out there to younger people watching or car enthusiasts or whatever? Any wisdom?
If you have the passion, keep at it. You know, like even like don't like spend all your money on it, but
Like make wise
Right.
choices.
Be-
Keep moving forward in
be,
life.
be wise with it. But like if you have a passion, kind of follow it.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good and looks good.
Cool. All right. Well, and this is something that made me pay attention to you when you were applying to Genius Garage. You're into vintage motorcycles and
lot,
you've done
yeah.
restorations and
Yeah.
work mechanic there.
Yeah.
So what's your love about vintage bikes? What have you had? What have you done?
So I've had a lot of vintage Hondas. I've had a Sears Allstate bike, which is made by Galera, which is an Italian company. It's a pretty weird
You just
bike.
got it and then sold it.
Yeah. And then I had one that I bought in the 8th grade that I also fixed up. So I like weird bikes, and then old Hondas purely because the parts are still available for them, so I don't have to like spend hours and hours like searching for parts. But I do like ground up restorations on them, make them basically mechanically perfect, and then visually, as far as my budget can go, I make them nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, that was something that really made me pay attention to you because you were already hands-on. And so just goes to show, you know, the hobbies that you have help augment your career academically and professionally as an engineer.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say out there to prospective employers?
That's an interesting question. Can I think about that one for a bit?
Yes,
Yeah.
think. We are thinking. Moments are passing.
What would be a good thing to say?
The grass is I have no idea what's a good thing to say. I'm just putting you on the spot. I thought it was a good question.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to the grass is growing. Maybe you should give them advice.
Let's do that.
Whoa, this is good. Dan has advice for prospective employers.
So, for prospective employers, like, obviously, like, get a gauge for the kind of person that you're looking for. Like, there are obviously all the qualifications of a job, but always make sure that the person's going to work well with the team. Because, like, coworker relations are super important, and it helps a lot.
I get tired of places, especially like big manufacturers or corporations that have so much bureaucratic walls and stuff that like they lose the human element completely.
You don't want to be a drone. Like I wouldn't want to work for a place where I feel like a drone. It's good to feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, but you also want to feel appreciated, like as an individual sometimes.
Actually, that's a really good point. You weren't there. Brian and Peyton went with me to this event, and I'm not even going to say what it is because I don't want to pinpoint the guy, even though he probably doesn't watch this. Yeah. And he's the CEO of a smaller manufacturing company. Mm-hmm. And he's a total jerk that has no idea how things work anymore. Yeah. He is like the cliche boss as parent to a leader.
Right.
Like he'll just beat up people and like mentally abuse them because it's not a perfect thing. But the guy stands for nothing.
Right.
Nor does his company stand for anything. So why would he expect, if he had half a brain, that anybody would go the extra mile to make anything better?
Exactly.
Yet the gentleman that came here the other day, he's the CEO of an even bigger global company. Yeah. It was a totally different culture.
Yeah.
Imparting the ability for teams to do things together and think and make something happen. And effectively, when you go in and growing the company, like seeding the company with better people that share a vision.
Yeah.
All right, this is cool. Do you think we ticked anybody off just now?
No.
Okay, except that one guy who doesn't watch our channel.
I don't know who it is, so you're probably good.
Neither do I. I've already forgotten because nobody wants to work for him. All right. Boy, how should we end this one?
I don't know. You may notice that I have less hair than I did in a couple of the earlier videos.
He no longer looks like Kenny Loggins from the 80s. It's very disappointing. Yeah. Are you sure this is going to be your new hairstyle?
Until the hair grows back.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You're. Will the girl from Paramore approve?
We'll see.
Okay. All right, you guys, on that note, we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.